Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be taking a look at this nice little desktop PC that I picked up a couple of weeks ago. I have no idea if it works, but I did really like the look and feel of this thing. I think the desktop computer with the keyboard, the mouse, and this particular monitor goes really well together. It's an ACD machine, never heard of it, but does have the turbo button, the LED speed segment display, 5.25-inch floppy drive. It has a nice little cherry keyboard here. It is a bit dirty, so it does need a bit of a cleaning. It has the Genius serial mouse with the 3 buttons. So yeah, all in all, a pretty nice combo if you ask me. But before we continue, first a word from our sponsor. Now, this video is sponsored by PCBWay, a full-feature custom PCB prototyping service. If you need PCB prototypes, SMD stencils, PCB assembly, flexible PCBs, or advanced PCBs, PCBWay has got you covered. They also offer CNC and 3D printing based on CAD files that you can upload in order to get a quotation. Also, check out their community section where you can find hundreds of do-it-yourself electronics projects from the community, as well as their store where they sell lots of cool electronics projects. So now, back to the task at hand. And I really like this monitor that came with this computer. It's definitely not your traditional VGA monitor. It's a TRL monochrome display. It does have a little problem here with its stand, but I really like the form factor of these things. You can clearly see that this is an old school monochrome monitor, definitely not a VGA, and it's not going to be able to display any colors. But yeah, I really like this type of design. On the back you have this normal and reverse mode, and you also have some knobs here to control the vertical size and the horizontal phase. So yeah, the normal and the inverted mode we'll look at in a bit. But let's first turn on the computer and see what it does. And it does start, which is already good. No explosions so far. The screen lights up, and it's definitely in some kind of inverted mode because you can clearly see that we don't have a black background here. But yeah, the PC does seem to be starting. It is doing its memory count. There appears to be 1 megabyte of memory installed. We can hear the drives initializing, and then hopefully the PC will boot either from the hard drive or the floppy drive, which is in here. Now that doesn't sound too normal now, does it? So yeah, upon accessing the floppy drive, which is drive A, you get this horrible noise coming from the 5.25-inch floppy drive. And I think I already have an idea what the problem is, because apparently somebody inserted this floppy disk the wrong way. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be a bootable floppy because we are getting the non-system disk or disk error. So yeah, so far no luck yet in getting this thing to boot. So let's first look at the exterior of the thing. We've got a power LED, turbo, and hard drive LED. We have a turbo button that doesn't seem to be doing anything at the moment. And we have a reset button. We have the 2 floppy drives, the 3.5 one and the 5.25-inch one, and the power button. Now, when we hit the reset button, we briefly see the turbo and the speed changing. The switch that I showed you earlier on the back of the monitor is indeed to convert the monitor or to reverse the colors. So you can either opt for a white background with black text or a black background with white text, which is the more traditional option. The boot process is also really simple. It does a memory count, albeit very slowly. 1 megabyte of RAM in this machine. You can bypass the memory check, and you can hit delete to enter the CMOS setup, which is very basic. We already have the floppy drives configured correctly, but there is no hard disk defined here. There is a turbo speed option here, which is currently disabled, hence why the turbo button didn't work. but after rebooting and enabling this setting, we now have a fully functioning turbo button. But we can't get the machine to boot because obviously we don't have the hard drive installed. So before we can do that, we'll need to open up the machine, but let's already have a look. We have the 286 here. We have a monochrome display type, BIOS dates from 1990, 1 megabytes of RAM, 2 serial ports and 2 parallel ports. And these are located on the back of the machine, so let's quickly go over those. We still have the 2 stickers here from the computer shop that sold this PC back in the day. We have the power supply, we have the standard keyboard connector, we have 2 serial ports, 2 parallel ports, and one of the 2 parallel ports is combined with an old D-sub connector 9-pin for the video output. So I'm guessing this is probably going to be some kind of MDA or CGA card. But let's open it up to see what we have here. And the first thing we notice is the K-lock hard drive and the way it is mounted here. So it's mounted vertically here alongside the motherboard. Very early 3.5-inch IDE hard drives, not really reliable, but overall the machine is squeaky clean. I mean, it's like there's no speck of dust anywhere to be found. Really clean, nice layout. So yeah, really anxious to see what we have here. I mean, just look at it here. I mean, even on the expansion cards on the motherboard, there's no dust buildup whatsoever. Really, really clean. So, I mean, this could just as well be a brand new PC. I mean, just look at these ribbon cables. Look at the surface area here on the case. I mean, it is basically brand new. Even as I was unscrewing these screws here to get the expansion cards out, I mean, I was under the impression that I was working with a brand new PC here, but obviously I'm not. So let's look at the graphics card here. And this is an 8-bit video card. It supports monochrome, probably MDA Hercules mode, as well as a color mode, which is probably going to be CGA. It has the video output connector, and it also has a parallel port. The other expansion card that we have here is fitted in a 16-bit ISA slot. I'm first going to be removing the ribbon cables here because this card here is used to hook up the floppy disks and the hard drive, and it also has an additional serial port. It basically has 2 serial ports and an additional parallel port. So 16-bit ISA, let's look what we have here. There's a cable here for the hard drive LED, which is shown on the front of the case. Now this is a WinBond 16-bit ISA card. We have some jumpers here to configure it, and we hook up the floppy disks, the hard drive, and an additional serial port. So again, squeaky clean, really nice to see. And here we have a better view of the motherboard, and the motherboard also looks basically brand new. Nice little layout. Even the battery doesn't appear to have gone bad. Let's take a look here. It's a bit obscured by this serial port, so let's get this one out and have a look at the battery. And as you can see here, virtually no corrosion. I am obviously going to be replacing it, but yeah, I mean, it's weird that, in some cases this can completely destroy a computer, and in other cases, I mean, it basically looks brand new. So yeah, we're going to be going over the hardware in a second video. Look at the motherboard in a little bit more detail. Look at the expansion cards as well. At this point, I just want to see if I can get this PC up and running with the hard drive. And for that, we need to go into the CMOS settings and configure the hard drive. Now, the hard drive in this machine is a K-lock model KL343. Now, this is one of the first IDE hard drives. It is a very unreliable. It it does hook up to a standard 16-bit ISA hard drive controller. I looked up the cylinder head and sector settings, so hopefully we will be able to find those in the CMOS setup. So let's take a look at what we have here. There's obviously no auto detection. I know this is a 40 megabyte drive, but I didn't find the exact cylinder head and sector combination in the CMOS setting. So what I did was I just picked the first 40-ish megabyte hard drive that was in there and tried to boot the computer with that. Now, after the memory count, it is trying to find the hard drive, but if the settings are invalid, you're probably going to be getting an error like the one that I'm getting here. So we get the C drive error. Press F1 to resume. But obviously this indicates that either the hard drive is bad or that we have configured the wrong hard drive type. So yeah, back into the CMOS settings, and let's look for another 40 megabyte hard drive. And there are a couple of them. Like I said, I mean, there is obviously no auto detection here, but let me go with hard disk type 17, which is a 41 megabyte hard drive type, and let's see if this will work. So after the memory count, it will look for the hard drive. We can already hear something, and then hopefully it will be able to boot. And it is. I mean, just listen to that hard drive sound. I mean, this is really, really cool. Let's run a check disk. I love the sound of these old K-Log hard drives, but unfortunately, the failure rate of the ones that I have come across is fairly high. So yeah, really excited to see one that's working. Now let's listen to it again. Now let's see and hear it from a different angle. Now, if that's not a thing of beauty, I don't know what is. Really, really cool. Before I put it back together again, I mean, just look at the condition of this case. I mean, this thing looks brand new. Amazing. So yeah, that's all we have time for in this video. I'm really glad we have the machine up and running now. So hard drive works, the turbo button works, we have configured everything in the CMOS. I mean, think this machine is good to go. So I think in part 2, we're going to be exploring what exactly is on this machine. We're going to go into more in depth of the hard drive, which is in this machine. So for now, I'm just going to see if the disk drives are working. The computer actually came with both a 3.5-inch floppy disk and a 5.25-inch floppy disk. So the 5.25-inch was configured as a primary A floppy disk, so the 3.5-inch one was the B disk. So this appears to be working. Let me check that other disk here. So this is the A drive, and let's see if we can pull up a directory listing. And we can. Contains lots of text files apparently. So yeah. Really excited to see this machine up and running. Let's take a quick look on the C drive. Again, in part 2, we're going to be exploring not only the hardware, but also what kind of software we have on this machine. Let me just run a quick check disk here just to hear that gorgeous hard drive sound again. 40 megabyte hard drive. I think I saw a Windows folder on there, so this computer should have Windows as well. Indeed it does. So yeah, lots of things to look forward to in part 2 of this video. I really hope to see everybody there. In the meantime, I really hope you've enjoyed this one. If you did, please consider leaving a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.